This is another installment in our ABC build challenge that is in no way, shape, or form in order. Today we are back at the beginning of the alphabet. We are working on C, which is Clothier. This lot is actually going to have multiple buildings on it. I strictly did the Clothier for this particular one instead of like Artist Alley where I built a whole hunk of building. I wanted this to be separate little buildings. The actual structure of this building is pretty basic. It's not going to change from what you see now, so I end up actually filming the decoration because for some of these, the part that's really going to make them that building is my decorating them. So this building could be anything, but when I set it up as a clothes shop, okay, then it's a Clothier. It makes sense at that point. So some of these will be a little bit more on the decorating side than the building, but I'm still building the building, so it counts. My limitations for this that I struggled with very deeply were essentially clothing only, so trying to stay away from any of the items from like the fabric dyeing kit, trying to stay away from loose rolls of fabric, those kinds of things. Like I do include some of it. That's right, Judy, I do. But I don't include, like, I set out some of those items. I'm like, no, this doesn't meet your parameters, and this is a functional clothing store, and it also has a little sewing machine in that little bump out room. I thought about making it a bathroom, then I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do that, so this is going to be a tiny little nook for the seamstress or whoever works here. This is going to be a community lot, so it's not going to actually be owned by a sim. I'm not entirely sure what else I'm going to put here. I've thought about making this like a practicalities kind of lot, so if I want, I could do a swordsmith, or I could do maybe not a candle maker, because I feel like you want to be near a candle maker when you are sewing clothing and you have a bunch of fabric, but I don't know, maybe just like practical items. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. I wanted to do a basket weaver, but I'm like, I kind of did that in Artist Alley. Sorry, Judy's very excited. She refound the rope that she's been sleeping on for 3 hours and discovered, oh, I want to play with this, because that's what she does. It's so funny. She sounds terrifying. She's the goofiest looking dog on the face of the planet. Like, she's just made of ears. The other day there was a whole bunch of kids outside and they saw her and they immediately were like, Dalmatian! I'm like, not really, but no judgment, they're small. And she was so excited to meet her adoring public, and I am a Scrooge, and I was also tired. And so I just kind of like said, yeah, her name's Judy, and just walked in the opposite direction as quickly as possible. Because I just did not want to interact, didn't want to do it. Which of course Judy was sad about, but she got over it. But yeah, she sounds very growly, which was the purpose. Like, I did not test her growl noises before I adopted her, but definitely a bonus when you live by yourself. You want a dog that sounds scary when it barks. Especially when you have people that like to play. We have a lot of like teenagers and younger kids, so they play pranks and stuff. Yeah, nobody messes with my apartment. Not a single person. It's fantastic. So with a lot, you can see I do keep one of these little fabric panel things that came with the dyer's kit. That's just because it's a functional clothing rack, and that's the only one I really had. I think those 2 mannequins actually are functional as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I just think they are, but who knows. So yeah, I wanted it to be a functional store. There's the little changing tent as well. I was gonna put it outside, and then I'm like, are you really gonna go outside? Like, no, that's not. Yeah, the only thing that I would change about this lot, like after I built it, is I wish I'd made it a little bit larger, so I could have put a screen in front of the little changing tent and like maybe a sitting area, but it's not meant to be like a big main store. It's just a little clothing shop. You can go to this person, commission items for yourself or family members, whatever to wear, and that's that. I did put those outside because I just felt like they'd be a good example piece that when your business was open, you'd want to have those out as like, this is some of the things that I could do here. This is my work. But other than that, with the limitations I placed on myself, I was struggling a little bit with how I wanted to decorate, and occasionally grabbing things that I'm like, oh, this should go somewhere. So I actually had, I can't remember the name of the person who made this set. I'm pretty sure it's from the Sims resource, but not actually downloaded from the Sims resource. But it's like a sewing set, like a Victorian sewing set. I used a lot of those items. And then that tall, narrow sort of cabinet that I do end up putting a lot of fabric on, I figured that was like a sample section. So like, if someone says, I want a dress, well, what kind of fabric do you want? Like, the person who runs this store isn't going to keep like big bolts of fabric everywhere. They'll order what they need, but they have some samples of like, do you want a brocade? Do you want a silk? Do you want a linen? Just like, especially for people who have no idea. Which mostly I got from most movies that feature Savile Row at all. Like, the fabric examples, that's where that came from. Don't know if it's accurate, but like, yeah. And I left the little flower crown thing. I think it's actually a functional jewelry station. I don't know. It fit. I also left that blanket on the floor. It's like a little toddler blanket, but I liked the idea that the seamstress has a toddler and just kind of plunks them down to play. I'm inventing entire backstories for Sims that don't exist. Yes, yes I am. Did some flower boxes outside. Just little details. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. But yeah, these, even though they don't fit in with what I wanted, like, they were kind of necessary for it to be a functional store. Because ideally when I play, I would like to make my Sims go to a community lot, because I'm notorious for just never leaving the lot and just having my Sims always be in the lot. So having all these different options is a great way to force myself, just like, you know what, you need to go to a community lot to do that. You're not allowed to use the wardrobe wrangler. Stop it. I don't know if it's gonna completely work, but that's the idea. Did want to put just like a chest, just little decorative elements that I technically could get away with, because this is a very empty shop otherwise. I was going to do an automatic register, but that one's actually a functional register, because I'm still toying with the idea of basically Arndt Blumenthal owning all of these community lots that otherwise don't have a specific person. I don't know how well that's going to work, but that's something that I've been considering, because A, it'll help him with his money, which I can cheat his money all day, like, it's not really of consequence. In this neighborhood, I don't care too much about money, especially right now. Maybe down the road I will, but I've had to rebuild it so many times that fortunes have changed since then. Like, Sims that were very wealthy before, there's not now, and then it's 15 years later, so things could have changed. Like, I'm just not limiting myself in that way. Like, if I have an idea of, like, I think this family is probably not very well off, I try to keep that in mind when I decorate for them, but I don't have hard money limits. This is not like a fully integrated neighborhood where there's like major tracking going on, because I just don't have the attention span for it, and it does not bring me joy, so I do not do it. I think it's amazing people that do, and I love watching those videos because I'm very impressed, but I don't do it personally. I finally got to use that mannequin stand with that ball gown, because I have that gown like as wearable content, and I can never use it for anything, and so that honestly was what I had in mind when I built this as well. I'm like, I want to use that item. I deserve to use that item. You can see me putting a bunch of fabric down now, but I already told you the bolts will not be staying. They shouldn't be here. They don't belong here. I do leave those little perfume bottles though in that wardrobe thing because, I don't know, they could be dyes or something. I have some kind of notions. Think of what else. I was just grabbing little things, little bits of thread and bobbins and scissors. And then I stumbled across these that I forgot I had, but they're from Skyrim. That's when I deleted all the bolts, and I was like, oh yeah, those are meant to actually be clothing items that are already pre-made. That's a great thing for this store. That's exactly what should be sold here. Which definitely makes me lean towards that. Someone has to own this lot so that people can actually buy things like that. I don't think I don't have wearable equivalents, but like, can give me a vague idea. Like, say someone buys one of those and then I come to their household and they've got it in their inventory. Well, let's change their outfit because they bought clothing. That's the kind of quote unquote integrated gameplay that I go for. I like my Sims to make their own decisions. I used to, and I might try to do it again, but in the previous iteration of Adirin, I had like a couple big lots that were just filled with like furniture items, and they were run by an NPC, and I would have her run her shop usually for 3 or 4 days before I would start the next round, and it would just kind of inform my decorating decisions for Sims. Because I don't always like to pick things, and I do have my randomizer, but sometimes it's nice to just have them kind of pick something out, and then that's my inspo for how I'm going to decorate their space, things like that. But I haven't done it this time. I might. I have a lot of houses to go, so probably would be wise to get something out there so I have something to work with where I'm not just making it up or flying by the seat of my pants, but we'll see. Those lots were very buggy because there's so many items on them that they're very buggy, very crashy. Because she owned, I think, 7 lots, and they were all just like, this is the comfort item lot, and it was every single item, and it got pretty crashy pretty quickly. And I also had, instead of random occurrence scenarios, I was trying a thing where like certain items meant a certain thing. So like that deco baby, for example, if someone bought a deco baby, they would have a baby in that round, or try to have a baby. Things like that, but it got real complex real quickly, and I'm still debating if I want to try to do that again. Because I think it's an interesting idea, and it's just that extra level of random, but it's like random I don't have to control. You can see I'm setting up the different fabric things here. Fat Cat just yelled at the dog. I don't know if you heard that, but we yelled. We did not want to be sniffed. Nor did we want to play with the rope, apparently. Poor Judy, she tries. She tries. She's like, may I interest you in a rope? No, he doesn't want the rope. I didn't realize that there were shelves in that thing too. Like, I had put the thing, but it didn't click that there were shelves, so I was like, oh, I should probably put stuff on the shelves. It's very useful to have. Oh god, and then this, I was trying to get it, I wanted to put that on the bottom part, underneath like the register, but finding an OMSP that was right for that was a struggle, because it needed to be adjustable, but I also needed to be the right height, so you're gonna watch me struggle with that. But other than that, there's not much to this lot. I don't think I changed very much. I just moved some things with the OMSPs. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, not just about the lot, but in general of like my random occurrence scenario to the next level of it being a business that's run by Sims that they go to. And also like the decorating idea. I've done it before, but yeah. I'm always curious what other Simmers do or what they think about. And of course, definitely give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, comment, all that as well. But I am trying to be a better YouTuber. Not because I want this to be my job, but because it's fun to interact with people. And every time I get like a new person like commenting or anything, like, it brings me joy. Because I love The Sims, and clearly it is my forever game, so I might as well share it with as many people as possible. And I think that's gonna be just about it. We've got like 30 seconds left. I don't have anything else to say, so yeah. Do what you will, and I will see you in the next one.